Current 10th graders will receive a registration form with 11th grade listed at the top. This form is designed for you to select which courses you wish to take next year, your third year of high school. Your form should be green in color. Hopefully you have completed your four-year plan over the last few weeks. Taking the time to thoughtfully consider your long-term goals and using this information to consider your course needs and options during high school will make the registration process quicker and easier for you each year. The first step in preparing to register is to print your four-year plan from your Google Drive. Make sure your name is printed on the top. This four-year plan will need to be stapled to your official registration form before you submit it to your advisor. Next, place your four-year plan next to your registration form. You will notice that very few courses on your registration form are crossed out. The few that are crossed out are classes not offered for the coming year. They are offered alternate years, or the music classes that are for 8th and 9th grade. Now that you are in your final 2 years of high school, you may wish to consider your readiness and eligibility to enroll in college-level courses. You are encouraged to look at all your options as you plan for the courses you wish to take in your final years of high school when completing this registration process. Refer to the registration handbook for more details about admission requirements for college coursework. Talk to the school counselor if you have questions. If you have failed any required classes in the last 2 years and did not retake them during summer school, then it is a good idea to register for them next year. Remember to register accordingly for these classes. Please consult with your advisor or the counselor for assistance with this if needed. You can also look at your transcript and the graduation checklist to review which courses you need, and if it is a 1- or 2-quarter class, and if you need to retake the first or second half or both. You will also notice that no courses are circled on your registration form as they had been in the past. As a junior, you now have options to select from to meet your course requirements. This is where using the four-year plan and thinking ahead will simplify this for you. Students are encouraged to follow the recommended course sequence as outlined for you in the original four-year plan, while selecting the rigor of our courses based on what you are ready for. For example, in 11th grade, most students will register for their third year of science classes. You can choose between Chemistry 1, or Chemistry 2, or Physics. Any one of these will meet the graduation requirements. For students who struggle and are not likely to enroll at a four-year college, Chemistry 1 is probably a good choice. Students who prefer chemistry and will attend a university should register for Chemistry 2. Chemistry 1 is not a prerequisite. Or if you prefer physical science, you can skip both chemistry options and opt to take physics to meet your science requirement. Consult with the teacher and/or your advisor or the counselor may help you decide which class you are ready for each year. Please review the instructions on your registration form. They instruct you to circle the courses you wish to register for. Take note of the fact that some courses show 2 numbers to circle before the course name. Courses with 2 numbers are taken for 2 quarters, and because each full block course is equal to 0.5 credits per quarter, these courses will show they are worth 1 full credit. As shown in the instructions, and as you can see on your four-year plan with the number of boxes you are allowed to fill in each year, the maximum number of credits you can earn each year is 8. Therefore, the maximum number of classes or credits you can register for on your form is the equivalent of 8 credits. Don't be confused by circling study halls. They are listed with credits so you can add them up on your form to tally to the 8 credits. However, you technically don't earn credits by taking a study hall. You will proceed with completing your form by looking at your four-year plan and your intended courses for next year, then going to your registration form and making sure all the correct courses you wish to take are circled accordingly. Please double check your selections, making sure you have circled the correct courses and they total up to 8 credits of time. This should also match up to the number of boxes you filled in on your plan. If you are in a music class, please take a moment to look at these boxes on your registration form. It is important you realize that each music class, choir, band, or orchestra is taken during 1/2 of a block of time in our school schedule. Therefore, you earn 1/4 of a credit each quarter rather than the 1/2 a credit earned with all other courses. This is why you will notice 4 numbers before each course name. You would register for the class all year or 4 quarters at a 1/4 credit earned, which totals up to 1 full credit for each music class. If you take only 1 music class, then you must also circle the study hall option in this section because we have no classes for you to take for just 1/2 of the block of time opposite your music, with the exception of accounting. Therefore, on your 4-year plan, taking 1 music equals 4 boxes on your plan and 1 full credit of time. You also would take up 1 credit of time with the study hall, filling another 2 boxes on your plan and a credit of time on your registration form. On your registration form, this is also tallied as 2 credits of time when adding the total number of courses to be taken each year. You would circle the 4 numbers before both the music class and the study hall. If you are taking 2 musics, then circle the numbers before each of your musics accordingly and tally this as a total of 2 credits. Moving to the back side of your form, once you have made all your course selections, double check the total credits of time you have registered for and make sure it totals up to 8. Do not register for any more or less than this. Moving down to the alternates, it is very important that you complete this and do it correctly. These blanks will be used if the courses you selected above can't be scheduled for you. Reasons may include the elective course you requested did not have enough students in order for it to be offered, or the course becomes full, or 2 courses you want are offered at the same time. Completing your alternates becomes much easier when you have a 4-year plan. Let's look at the sample plan. For this demonstration, let's say you have updated your plan from last year and all the courses listed in the 9th and 10th grade column were classes you completed and passed. Now you will register for all the classes in your 11th grade column. You would fill out your registration form accordingly. Once you finish your first choice selections, you would move to completing your alternates and drops on the back side of the form. As you look at the classes you could drop, you should consider what classes you need to best prepare for your post-high school plans. In this example, the student is planning to attend Riverland for a 1-year program to be a medical assistant. Therefore, having 2 years of foreign language was not required for admission. However, if a student enjoys it and wants to continue with Spanish 3, then this is fine. This is a time, though, when students must weigh their options and attempt to make well-informed decisions about their course options based upon both their interests and their need to be prepared for college. In this demonstration, we will say the student decides Spanish 3 is not a top priority anymore. Plus, it may not be available at Blue Earth area since not many students take a 3rd year, and this class would possibly need to be taken online, which can be a very difficult option for students. Therefore, the student decides to make Spanish 3 their first and second drop choice. There are multiple options for adding. For example, this student should look at the senior year courses and can consider any of the options listed as alternates for the junior year. You are encouraged to list them in priority order. Because a careers class is required, it may be wise to take Principles of Business as alternate number 1. Then Fitness Improvement could be number 2. Then, because of the interest in the medical field, this student really wants to take anatomy, so we'll make this add number 3 and 4. Then a final alternative to list as number 5 could be the humanities, since this is an extra English class the student wanted, and it could fit into the schedule nicely in the 11th grade year, rather than waiting until next year. We easily added 5 alternates, but so far only wrote down Spanish 3 for drop 1 and 2. Now we must select what other classes to drop if needed. This student really likes choir and doesn't want to drop it. This requires keeping the study halls. Therefore, looking at other options, the next class to drop might be number 3, digital media, then number 4, psychology, and finally, option for drop number 5 is 1/2 of the world cultures class. Keep in mind these are just drop options. All these classes can then be added into the open slots created in the senior year if the alternate classes are filled in to replace the drop classes. The 4-year plan can simply be updated for next year to change the order of these classes around and hopefully still end up taking all the classes you wish, while making sure to include all the classes that must be taken to meet graduation requirements. Many students get most of their course selections in 11th and 12th grade, but we need you to be prepared for alternatives and complete this drop add section in case conflicts arise. Keep in mind, many classes offered in 11th and 12th grade years are only offered one time, so it is easier to end up having a conflict during your last 2 years of high school. It is also not uncommon to find that 2 classes you want are offered at the same time, so you may be forced to choose. Remember how music classes work on a block schedule. You can't drop study hall in your 4-year plan if it is taken opposite a music class, because these are actually just 1/2 block of time all year long, and there are no classes offered during that half block of time except for accounting. One final item to consider on the back side of your registration form is if you failed any classes, you should keep track of this and note it on your registration. You should also consider these classes you will need to retake when making your selections and circling classes on your form, as well as when you complete your 4-year plan and what required classes you need to retake. Keep in mind your 4-year plan may need to be rearranged if you are a transfer student from another school and you are taking things in a different order. You can adjust your course plan each year if you fail a class and need to retake it, or if you change your plans and decide different courses may be a better fit for you. Keep in mind it is very important that you do the best job possible completing your registration form correctly each year, and that you register for the classes you need and wish to take. We will build the master schedule based on what you request on this form, so do not take this lightly and assume you can just change your schedule later. The staffing will be planned and the number of sections created based upon your choices on this form, so take your time to do it correctly and build the best schedule that will work for all the students at the high school. The final step of this process is to get signatures on your forms. Student, parent, and advisor signatures should be obtained on both the registration form and your 4-year plan. Staple these 2 together and submit to your advisor. These are due by February 26th.